Hi there, my name is Morgan Rysdon and I'm the creator of Center Studio, where I teach people skills to feel more comfortable more often. Now this week I thought I would share with you something that I'm recommending to every single person who comes to my studio. So if an individual has lower back problems, if a student has neck and shoulder pain, or maybe they have TMJ or just excess stress that they're trying to learn to manage better, I'm always suggesting to these students practice constructive rest at home. And so this was something I thought that would be helpful for many of you to give you some idea of what this is and why it might be helpful for you to practice it at home on your own as well. So to begin with, I want to talk about pain. And I feel as though most of us have at some point or another, unfortunately, experienced discomfort or pain. And in some cases, some of us have even had it where it, lasts a little longer, or it gets a little stronger and it's no longer the same pain, but now it's sort of metamorphed into this larger pain, right? And in these cases, I'm always telling students, this is your body's primary way of communicating with you. This is the way that the body is trying to get across a message, trying to communicate with you that something's not working, something's wrong, and asking for your attention. Right? So oftentimes we're going through our life and we are very distracted, right? We've got, mortgages to pay and people to take care of and jobs to do. And we have all these things happening, what we would call stimuli, right, in our life. And these things are happening and you don't necessarily always make time to think about your body and to make adjustments. So constructive rest is a wonderful way every day that you can clear apart, a moment in time during your day where you can focus on your body, get in touch with how you're feeling, and basically open up the lines of communication. What is my body feeling? How can I help it? And then when you get up and you go about your day-to-day life, you're able to sort of make accommodations and adjustments because you know what your body is asking for. So I thought that I would share this with you today. And I've cleared out my coffee table. So in my living room, I've got a yoga mat on my rug. That's the way I prefer it. You might want to just put a towel down on a carpeted floor, or maybe you don't even need a rug. You just have a yoga mat on your floor. Whatever it is, I strongly discourage a bed or a couch because those things are usually associated with sleeping and are sort of tempting to individuals to just go to sleep. So this is, as the name suggests, it's an opportunity for you to be constructive. So we want to stay awake and alert. And then I also have, for my head, I've got these little, I call them books. They're not books, but you could have books. These are just little foams I got from Canal Rubber and Supply in New York City, and they're great. They're lightweight, and they're different sizes, right? You could also get a blanket or something like that, or a towel that you have rolled up. The idea is maybe not a pillow or anything that's too squishy, so that you have nice firm support for underneath your head, so that your head and your spine can be all aligned properly. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to illustrate this for you all. So moving on to my yoga mat, I have my books, and I'm going to find myself in a comfortable position on the floor. Everybody always asks me, how many books? And you know what, friends? I don't know how many books for you all, because I'm not with you today. Like every day it's going to be different, right? So, a minute ago when I was setting up my camera, that was good, but now I feel like this is better. So you just, and because it's small, again, like because this is really lightweight and easy to remove, I'm not futzing with it too much. So you kind of want to avoid a big novel or, Tolstoy's Anna Karenina, for example. You don't want to have a big book that it's hard to adjust and you can't do it easily, because I might find in a few minutes I want to add a book back again, right? So that's possible as well. And for those of you who do yoga, you might be familiar with Shavasana. People have, they kind of come to this sort of position at the end. And oftentimes in yoga classes, people will have nothing under their head. And to an Alexander Technique teacher, this is like death. So I'm always in Shavasana in a yoga class. I will grab my sweatshirt if there's nothing else and roll it up. I'll grab a towel, but you will never see me on the floor without books underneath my head. It's because your spine wants to be aligned, and you can feel it. Test it out at home on your own. You'll feel that the spine gets compressed and it's hard on the neck when your head is meeting the ground at the same place that your back is. So, explore that and hopefully join me in never again putting your head on the floor without books or something. So you'll want to get your feet hip width apart in a comfortable place. You can play around with how close your feet are to your torso. Maybe at some point you want to bring them out. You can feel free to do that as you're here, because 10 or 12, 15 minutes, that can be a long time for people, so you might feel like you need to move. And then also play around with where your hands are. So I prefer my stomach or my belly and my ribs, so I can monitor my breathing and feel the rise and the fall of my ribs. But you may find you want your hands out to the side. If you do it out to the side, I'm going to suggest that you keep the palms up, facing towards the sky, because most of the day, all of us kind of have our hands rotated this direction so that we're at the keyboard or we're on an iPad or, driving. So oftentimes we don't have a chance to keep the palms up, and gravity can really help you with opening up your palms and your fingertips to encourage, sort of a widening and lengthening through your hands. So find what's going to be comfortable for you, and then you're going to spend, 10, 12, 15 minutes in this position and just noticing what you observe, right? So free of criticism, you're leaving any sort of judgment aside. And again, because it's constructive rest, I don't have my, podcast going in the background. I'm not having a conversation with my kids or my partner. I'm, really present with my body, and I'm giving myself a chance to touch base with what's going on. What do I feel? Where do I feel tight? Where do I feel easy? And you might find after you're here a while, you want to pick up your pelvis and shift it down, or you may find I kind of want to caterpillaring up and move my book so that my spine is a little bit longer. The longer you're here, the more elongation you're going to feel in your spine as it's sort of naturally letting go. So you'll find this is pretty comfortable here. And honestly, if you can't find 10, 12, 15 minutes in your day, friends, give your body 5. Your body will thank you, and I'm going to kind of bet that if I get you to get down on the floor even for 5 minutes, you might stay a little longer because it's nice, right? And your body, I promise, will thank you for it. So give yourself some time where you can, give your body some much deserved attention. And then when I get up, I roll to the side, sort of like one would do in a yoga class or something like that. And I think that you'll find, especially similar for people who do meditation, that you kind of know when 10 or 12 or 15 minutes is up because you're used to doing it. After a while, you get used to it and you're like, oh yeah, this feels familiar. And you'll kind of know when you've reached your time. So I'm going to encourage all of you, hopefully now more than ever, you've got some time to spare and you can give this a try. And I promise you, you will see results. Give me 7 consecutive days in a row and your body will feel a little calmer. You'll start observing things a little easier. It's like opening up a conversation with your body, and your body is so grateful that now you're talking and listening, So give yourself an opportunity to explore this on your own. And until next time, my friends, take care. Okay, ciao.